So now we move ahead to our next problem, which is question number 19 of Benjamin 2021, where there were 20 apples and 20 pears in a box. Carl randomly took 20 pieces of fruit from the box, and Luca took the rest. Which of the following statements is always true? Let's take a look at the statements. So the first option says Carl has at least one pear. Well, we can definitely say that he's taking up 20 fruits, so there are high chances that he has at least one pear. But is that always true? I don't think so. Why? Because it is possible that Carl can randomly pick up all of the apples, right? Because he may not like the pears, or he may not get any pears in his hands, right? Option B, Carl got as many apples as pears. Well, getting an equal count is nearly very rare, right? Because there's only one chance of getting a rare of getting equal, right? Because there are other chances as well of getting unequal chances, like you might get 12 apples and 8 pears, and 13 apples and 7 pears, and vice versa, right? So that's definitely impossible. So option B is definitely out of picture. And similarly, option C is definitely not correct as well. Why? Let's take a look. So option C says that Carl got as many pairs as Luca. That means they get an equal split, right? Equal split is impossible unless they divide it equally among them, right? And that is not always true. So in the same way, option E is incorrect as well. So what are we left with? We're left with option D only. So option D says Carl got as many pairs as Luca got apples. Now there is one more approach to look at this problem. If you think like this, right? So if you think about Carl and if you think about Luca, if I add both of their apples, so let's add CA and let's add LA, they would always total 20, right? And then if I think about the pairs, so Carl's pairs and Luca's pairs, they would again add up to 20 only. So if some apples are taken up by Luca, right? Or if some apples are already taken up by Carl, that means Luca is going to have the difference, right? That is 20 minus LA. CA. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. That is Carl's difference, right? And then if you think about the same, it would again have, right? If you think about this, we would have the similar situation over here for pairs as well, right? And then if we think about this, we can definitely think about like there, we can definitely think it as whatever number they are taking out, okay, they're going to take out 20 apples, 20 fruits each person as well, right? So if I think Carl's apples and Carl's pears are again going to add up to 20, and same is going to happen for Lucas apples and Lucas pears as well, right? He's going to have 20 in all as well, right? For both of them. So in that case, if I think about a little more carefully, I can say that the difference comes out as a number. So let's assume a situation. Let's assume that Carl picks up 7. So Lucas has 7 apples. So this is Carl and he picks up 7 apples, right? In that case, Lucas is going to pick up 13 apples, right? So now, since they both have picked up 7 apples and 13 apples, now if I think about this, Carl is going to have 13 pears. Why? Because he can only have a maximum of 20 fruits, right? And in the same way, Lucas can have 7 pairs, and that is because he can also have 20 fruits at maximum, right? And you can say that they have only 20 fruits exactly for each one of them, right? So a number of apples for Lucas or number of apples for Carl is same as number of pairs for Lucas. So that is what I understand from option number D, right? Because it says that it is the same for both of them, right? So in that case, option D is the correct one over here, and we can conclude option D as correct. And with that, we conclude question number 19 of Benjamin 2020. Moving ahead, we move to our next problem, which is question number 20 of Benjamin 2021, where we have a railway line between cities X and Y. The trains can meet traveling in opposite direction only in one of its stretches, in which the line is double. A train takes 180 minutes to go from X to Y and 60 minutes to go from Y to X at constant speeds. On this line, a train can start from X at the same instant that a train starts from Y, without them colliding during the trip. Which of the following figures represents the line? Well, we have been given five options, and we have two cities. We have the cities X, we have the city Y. We'll have to assume that one of the trains starts from X. This is what is mentioned. So a train starts from here, and then a train starts from Y at the same time, right? The train that starts from X takes 180 minutes to complete the journey, while the train Y takes only 60 minutes to complete the journey and reach X. So in that case, since we have two different speeds, we'll have to understand that there are several stops where the trains stop as well, right? So as you can see, we have some stops. Let's name them as A, B, C, D, and E respectively. Now this is going to be same for all of them. So I'm going to just put it on top and we can just assume all the others as A, B, C, D, and E. Now, since I know that it is going to be taking 180 minutes to go from X to Y, I can say that from X, it takes 180 divided by 6 because there are 6 stops for the train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? So there are six pieces that I see as well, right? 6 pieces of lines over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The entire track is divided into 6 parts. And to go through each part, it would take approximately 30 minutes, right? But this is from X, right? But if I start from Y, there are 6 parts, but it takes only 60 minutes to cover all the 6 parts. So that means 10 minutes for each part, right? So in that case, if you think about this, the first one, where I can see option number A. If I think option number A is correct, the train starts from X and it goes something like this from here. Now, by the time it crosses A, it becomes 30 minutes plus more. So now the train is somewhere over here. And if I think about option number if I think about the Y from where the another train is starting, in 30 minutes, it would cross C already, right? So now if I notice, since the trains are moving in opposite direction and on the same track, a collision is going to happen. And we don't want them to collision to happen. So that means option A is incorrect because a collision is happening somewhere from between A and C. Now, when I take a look at option number B, again, I have points in the same way. Now, the first train starts from option from X. It takes up 30 minutes, right? And now it moves to its next 30-minute segment, right? So it is going to spend 30 minutes on this arc. And on the other hand, the next train, the train that starts from Y, is going to travel all the way. This is 10, 10, 10. That makes it 30 already. And now it is going to cover this distance on the next minutes, right? That is in the next 30 minutes. But over here, if you notice, this train over here is going to stay for 30 minutes, right? So by the time this train passes already, the train is going to stay in this arc, right? So that means a collision will not happen at all. So option B is a correct option that we are looking for, right? And that is the only correct option because everything else would definitely collide in one way or the other, right? So that is how I conclude this solution over here. And now we can move ahead to our next problem. So this was question number 20 of Benjamin 2020.